was only you comes to the front door.
Hey, I was just watching the girls go by. I thought they were heading over here.
It's jazz band. They're rehearsing all hours. They've got into county final.
Well, I'm surprised you're not out there with them.
Well, I'm feeling a bit better, maybe.
So, what's the problem?
It's my chest, doctor.
Are you familiar with the phrase, physician, heal thyself?
Are you familiar with the phrase, don't push your luck? I'm a bone setter, not a doctor.
Right. Well, let's have a look then.
Matron's ward round start in 5 minutes and the notes are all over the corridor. Get them sorted out.
The system.
If there's anything I can do...
Just get into this bed and try to look tidy. You didn't notice anything odd going on last night, did you, Joe?
No, but you know me, sister. I sleep like a baby.
Oh, Alan, you shouldn't have.
No, sorry, they're for Samantha.
You still seeing her?
Yeah. Took her to Flicks again on Monday. The Seventh Seal. Have you seen it?
Not really my cup of tea.
I thought it was going to be a wildlife film about seals. Do you think these are all right?
Well, there's always rather a lot of flowers in the hospital.
Better get her something else. Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, it sounds like a touch of bronchitis, nothing more than that. I'll come back next week and have another listen. I'll give you a bottle for your chest. Which means you won't be able to start on this yet.
That's a shame. That's the kind of medicine I like.
It's from Brian Edwards. No, you really worked the trick on his back.
Maybe, but I don't think you should send me any more of your patients. I don't want you getting yourself into trouble.
Well, I'll risk it if it's going to help people.
Now, don't get all noble. You could lose your job. And don't argue. I've been on dole. You haven't.
Nobby, I need doctor.
What's the problem?
There's one at Lass's in band. She's not well at all. We're all in cafe.
Right. Hey, how did he know I was here?
Place this size, you can't break wind without neighbours knowing.
This man is 57 and had a leg amputated at Ashfordley General.
I don't know what's going on, Matron. It must be some sort of silly prank. All the notes have been muddled up.
So I see. Perhaps you could just tell me Mr. Steeple's blood pressure.
My stethoscope's gone too.
Then there's very little point in me conducting a ward round. I'll come back later.
I'll come back later.
Shh. She's quite right. This should never have happened.
The other patients are giving me a hard time. They say you spend more time with me than them.
I do not.
I'm not complaining. I mean, if you weren't a nun, you'd be top of my list for a Valentine card.
Behave yourself.
Mr. Steeple's causing problems, sister?
Yes, Doctor.
She fancies me.
I would advise you to watch your step, Mr. Steeples, particularly 2 days after an appendectomy. And perhaps you should know that it's a well-known fact that Sister Bridget actually fancies me.
Sue says she wants me for her man. Jenny, she loves me and say she can. Jerry only does it just...
It's all right, Rosie. Doctor's here now.
What's going on here then?
I keep being sick.
Well, we don't want that. Have you got any pain in your tummy?
Yeah, and my head hurts, and I've got sort of pins and needles.
And when did all this start?
When I was eating, the bacon tasted funny. Kathy and Julie said so too.
You cooked their breakfast.
Well, it's just my way of doing my bit for the band. But look, there was nothing wrong with that bacon.
Okay, but we can't take any chances. Can you clear the tables and make sure none of the other children eat anymore?
What are you talking about?
Food poisoning. There's a chance you've given it to the lot of them.
Have you seen the Health Authority memo management reorganisation?
No. Thanks for the warning. I'll do my best to avoid it.
My job, as currently exists, is being eliminated.
Oh, that's a bit of a blow.
They are considering...
Cup of tea, Mr. Middleditch.
Ah, very good.
They are considering setting up a larger management unit here.
And what will that do?
What I do, but even more efficiently. Of course, there will be a new post as head of that.
And you will apply for that?
I may not be minded to. Perhaps it's time I moved on.
Well, doubtless you'll let me know when you've reached a decision.
This isn't my fault. You can't blame me.
I'm not blaming anyone. But I'll have to call the public health inspectors to check your kitchen. Now, if you want to do something useful, round up some people with cars so I can take them all to the Royal.
You think it's that bad?
Well, they're all quite young. I can't take any chances.
I hope I'm not wasting your time. I just never felt so tired and run down.
Well, we'll see what the blood test tells us. I'll give you a call when I get the results.
And I wanted to say again how sorry we are about Caroline. We're all going to miss her.
Thank you.
And we want you to come over. Are you free for supper sometime?
Well, when were you thinking of?
Tonight?
Tonight? Why not? I'd be delighted.
Good.
Would it be possible for me to bring my colleague, Jill Wetherall?
Of course, bring whoever you want. Shall we say 7 o'clock?
I look forward to it.
There are 8 girls with abdominal pains, headaches, and faintness.
Do you think it's food poisoning?
Well, they all ate the same thing. It's pretty clear. And you should have seen the state of the kitchen at the calf.
Hey, if you're trying to blame me, you better have some proof.
Well, it wasn't exactly clean, was it?
She's my daughter. Do you think I'd want to poison her?
Well, it looks like you've managed to one way or the other.
This isn't helping the patients. Would you please wait in reception?
I'm not having him.
Now, please. Doctor?
Just fluids by mouth for now, matron.
Yes, doctor.
I'll see if I can get some more help.
Well, at least he doesn't want their stomachs pumped. Yet. Come with me.
Frank and Bryony Wellborn, they're, well, I suppose they're my oldest friends in Elsinby.
I don't think it's a very good idea, Gordon.
Oh, I said you were just a colleague from work.
Yeah, but we're going there as a couple.
Well, is that a problem?
It is if he gets back.
Well, it won't. I promise.
Okay. Doctor, all
Oh, I need some help. Bit of an emergency.
Oh, well. Bang goes our tea break.
Kenneth Hopkirk.
Muriel.
You didn't recognise me.
Of course I did. How are you?
Me? Never better. That's why I'm in hospital.
No, I mean, sorry. Oh, you're even more beautiful now than you were when you were 16.
Oh, and you're as full of it as ever. Come here.
Oh.
Ken!
Oh, hello, sister. This is Muriel. We're all friends.
So I see. I also see you've only brought up one linen basket.
See you later.
During visiting hours.
Excuse me, sister. About Muriel.
Mrs. Thorne.
What's wrong with her?
That's none of your business.
No, I just want to know. I mean, is it out serious?
All I can say is she won't be with us for long.
Where are my patients?
Matron took them to the kitchen.
What for?
You said to give them fluids. Remember that New Year's Eve party at Ella Michael's? The room with the coats in.
Hardly likely to forget, am I?
And later on, Ella Michael were handing round glasses of that fancy French wine he'd had off the docks. None of us had ever had wine before, except at communion. And he was saying there's a first time for everything. You blushed bright red.
Have you changed that mattress for me, Ken?
All done, sister.
Then there's no reason why you can't have a look at that curtain rail in Milner.
No. Right. Come on, Alan. Alan.
Would you mind if I nipped out for 10 minutes? I need to go to the shops.
All right, well, actually, you can go to the market and get us a bunch of grapes.
What for?
Never mind what for. I'll pay you when you get back.
I've heard that before.
I'll get Matron for you. She doesn't want too many people in there. fluids here.
What's going on?
I gave them the fluids as you suggested, but you didn't specify what, so I thought orange squash might do the trick.
What about the stomach pain and faintness?
It appears to have stopped. This does sometimes happen with a group like this. There's a sort of chain reaction of hysteria sets in. They think they're ill because someone tells them they are. We could do with some more squash.
Well, I ought to check on them.
Well, Matron seems to have everything under control. I don't know, maybe we ought to leave her to it. Thank you, Doctor.
Classic case of mass hysteria.
They had food poisoning.
Tell you what, Jeff, maybe if you get yourself a nice glass of orange squash and sit down calmly, it might seem different. I mean, Matron's not superhuman. She's just been doing this longer than you have. Cheer up. You'll know next time, won't you?
Okay, I was wrong.
I didn't say anything. But you might owe him an apology.
Mr. Wilson, I'm sorry. It seems the girls don't have food poisoning.
I told you.
But you really should clean up that kitchen of yours.
Oh, why? Well, maybe you ought to pay more attention to how you do your job before you start telling me how to do mine. And seeing as how my daughter doesn't have to be in here, I'll take her home.
Here you go.
Oh, the hospital's right place for these. They look terrible. Where'd you get them?
Your cousin's place. No, it's 1 and 6.
Good morning, Ken. Just a middle itch.
I do wish you wouldn't do that. It upsets the patients.
That's how I like them.
Do I get the standard 20 questions, or are you going to tell me?
You've heard who'll be applying for Harper's job?
I have no idea. Harper himself doesn't appear to be interested.
That's because he doesn't stand a snowball's chance in hell. Arnold Pitt wants it.
I'm afraid I'm not acquainted with the gentleman.
Your state is the more gracious. In Cumberland, where he currently works, they call him the Undertaker. He lays out, embalms and inters entire hospitals. Closed 4 in the last 3 years. Don't say you haven't been warned.
I shall be on the lookout for him.
Do you know if anyone's lost a stethoscope?
Well, it wouldn't be me.
No, I suppose not. I just heard something. I didn't mean to, but I did. You won't believe it.
Well, go on then.
Well, I can't tell you.
Well, if it's about your dad and his girlfriend, I know already.
Don't be daft.
Well, your mum's away, isn't she?
Yeah.
Well, you know, when the cat's away.
No, it's my mum that's away. What girlfriend?
Who's checking your lights? Or is it true about this Undertaker book, then?
The Butcher of Cumberland. He'll close this place in 6 months. At first, he'll tighten your budgets till your eyes water. He's the Dr. Beeching of hospital management, with all the compassion of Vlad the Impaler and something of Attila the Hun's attitude to overmanning.
So he's a friend of yours?
Don't be ridiculous, he's management.
Hey, we've got to do something about this bloke who's after Harper's job.
Like what?
Well, make sure we keep Harper.
But you've been trying to get rid of him ever since he got here.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not. I've got some more important things to see to. So I'm putting you in charge of making sure that you find some way of keeping Harper.
Oh, I found it in reception.
How on earth did it get there?
Maybe one of the doctors picked it up by mistake.
Have you seen Dr. Ormerod?
He and Dr. Wetherill went to have lunch. Have you noticed they do that most days?
It's none of my business. Nor yours.
No, you're right. It's my business. I'm supposed to know where they are. They're usually together.
Sister Bridget wouldn't tell me what was wrong. But she did say, you know.
Yeah.
And I think you're being very brave with so little time to go. Your husband hasn't been in to see you.
No. I'm on my own now.
Oh, sorry. Well, Must be hard at a time like this.
It's nice that you're here to help.
If you gotta make a fool of somebody, if you gotta make a fool of someone, dear, you really can hurt me. I'm the one that worries about you. If you gotta make a fool of somebody, if you gotta make a fool of someone, dear, you really can hurt me. I'm the one that worries, always true.
Should take care of the little blighters. What have I done now?
Who's that woman?
What woman?
The one you were sat there with holding hands.
That woman. That's Muriel Thorne. We were childhood sweethearts, me and Muriel.
And that's why the two of you were all lovey-dovey. It's disgusting.
Muriel's very ill, and she hasn't got long. She's got nobody else, and I was just, trying to make things a little bit easier for her.
You're a married man?
I know. But your mum's in Whitley Bay. She doesn't have to know.
Tad! You know what? I'm not going to speak another word to you until you pull yourself together.
Lizzie.
You've been sent to Coventry.
Saw Mark Gibbon at the golf club the other day. Seen his vesting.
It was wonderful, Brownie. Thank you. It's Polo Pizzaiola.
I'm glad someone's enjoying it.
It's too fancy for me. She's gone mad with all this Italian stuff.
You used to like Italian stuff. You and Gordon have got all this to look forward to.
It's not usually a problem at work.
I'm sorry, I thought it was...
We're not really in any rush, and, well, it isn't really appropriate.
I'm sorry. We must have got hold of the wrong end of the stick.
What she means is it's all my fault.
No.
Well, it always is, though, isn't it?
Granny, where should I put this?
On the side there.
Do you like some help with the pudding?
If you could help me carry through, these plates are for you and Gordon.
Thanks.
Frank, what on earth are you doing?
What did your food taste like? Please, don't be polite.
It was delicious.
Mine tasted like burnt rubber. I want you to have it analysed.
There's nothing wrong with the food.
Not yours, mine. Everything I've eaten for days. I tell you, I think she's trying to poison me.
Frank?
No. First, my food starts tasting odd, and then I get ill. She's up to something. Please, Gordon.
I can't leave with your supper in a bag.
Give me your car keys, I'll put it in the boot.
All right. Okay. But will you come and see me in the morning? At the hospital.
Hey, you're working late.
So are you?
Yes, but I'm new and enthusiastic.
And I'm old and miserable.
Well, you're not old, but you can be quite serious.
Oh, I had a laugh today.
At me? I don't know, but I think Matron enjoyed herself just a little bit too much, taking me down a peg or two.
She does that to all the new doctors.
Yeah, well, I deserved it. Hey, you don't fancy an orange squash, do you?
Oh, I hate this stuff. And I've got to get these finished.
Good night.
Night, Doctor.
A disastrous evening. I'm sorry. Bad idea.
Yeah. Look, either we're seeing one another or we're not, okay? But I cannot stand all this lying and keeping secrets.
But we can't tell everyone.
No, of course we can't. But is it ever really going to change? I mean, there is no end of reasons for keeping this secret, are there?
Jill, we've just got to give it time.
I don't know what Frank's doing, but let's have coffee. Husbands.
Who's watching your ward? I want you back there in 2 minutes.
There's a man in my bed.
Mr. Steeples!
Has this sleepwalking ever happened before?
Once, when I was staying in a youth hostel. I'm really sorry.
I think that we should talk later, see if there's something we can do.
You can cure sleepwalking.
You never know. I'll arrange an appointment for you.
A lot of odd things have happened since he's been here. Instruments have gone missing, notes have been moved.
He could have done that in his sleep.
I'd be grateful if you'd make this a priority. He's disrupting our routine and upsetting other patients.
I will. Quite often, sleepwalking is a symptom of a more serious underlying condition. We'll see.
Every little bit hurts. Every little bit hurts. Every night I cry, every night I sigh, every night I wonder why you treat me cold, yet you won't let me go.
Morning, Alan. Did you go to another of them foreign films last night?
No, Samantha wasn't free, and I've just found out why. She's seen Mr. Rose.
Mr. Rose? Why would you want to do that? He's old enough to be a dad. Oh, Alan. You sure?
I saw him. Here. You can have this.
Hello, love. Oi, Happy Jack. We've got work to do. Operation Harper.
And you really believe that Bryony is trying to poison you?
I can taste something in my food, and like I said last night, I feel terrible.
Yes, well, I'll get the food analysed. In the meantime, I'd like you to see Dr. Klein, our psychiatrist.
You think I'm mad?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
But you still think I should go and see the shrink, eh? I expected more from you.
I'm doing the best I can for you.
Why don't you just cut the nonsense and have me committed?
Frank, will you listen? There are three possibilities here. One, that Bryony really is trying to poison you. Two, that you have something physically wrong with you. And three, that it's all in your head. And I have to explore all three possibilities. It's all or nothing at all. It's up to you, I'm afraid.
We've come to move you to your new office.
I don't need a new office.
Right, I'll leave you in Alan's capable hands.
This is ridiculous. I'll probably be leaving next month, and I'm quite happy where I am. Why does nobody in this hospital ever take a blind bit of notice of me?
I'm just obeying orders.
So, who's coming to your bowling group this afternoon?
Well,
I saw you put the poster up, but I'm none the wiser. Is it at all like badminton?
It's a meeting where we can sit down and discuss any difficult cases or patients that we might have at the moment.
Like cases of mass hysteria?
You're not going to let me forget about that, are you?
Absolutely not.
Actually, that might not be a bad place to start.
Well, I can't make it tonight, I'm afraid. Sorry.
And, well, I'm going to have to see how things are at home.
Well, I'll come along. I think it's a great idea.
Where's this new office?
Next to reception. It's much bigger, quieter too.
I have a meeting in Ashfordley. I expect everything to be ready for me when I return this afternoon.
Right you are, Mr. Harper. Oh, and Mr. Harper, I gave your car a clean.
Doctor said it may only be another couple of days.
Well, you can't always be sure.
Could be less than that even. Ken, could you pass me my bag? Remember this? It was the happiest day of my life when you proposed to me. You should have it back.
No, you keep it.
I don't think it fits anymore.
Oh, look at that, it does.
Can't get it off now.
Well, you don't have to, do you?
You're saying what I think you are. Oh, Ken!
What's wrong? Tell me.
I know about you and Mr. Rose.
Please don't tell anyone.
Why shouldn't I?
Because I'm asking.
Were you with him last night?
Well, sometimes I stay at his house.
You what?
You haven't said anything to anyone else, have you?
Only Lizzie.
Oh, great. Now the whole hospital's going to know.
I've talked to Frank Wellborn. I'd say he could be mildly paranoid and possibly depressed, but he shows no sign of mental illness.
Well, he was convinced that his food had a metallic taste. I suppose I should send a sample to Ashfordley for analysis.
Oh, sorry. It's okay, we're finished.
I just wanted to ask about Frank. I've just seen him waiting in reception.
Yes, we were just talking about him.
What's the matter with him?
Well, to cut a long story short, he thinks that Bryony's trying to poison him.
Oh, well, I wish you'd said something. Last night, I saw her sprinkling some white powder onto Frank's plate. Now, I assumed it was sugar or something, but she did try to hide it.
Well, that's because it probably was sugar. I mean, he hasn't keeled over it yet, has he?
Maybe because he didn't eat any of it. I saw what I saw.
Dad?
Thought you weren't speaking to me.
I'm not. Since when were moles fatal?
You sure this is Muriel Thorne?
She was having moles removed. I filed her notes.
Ken, I need help.
You're not the only one.
His plan to stop Harper leaving, but it's just gone wrong. I took all furniture out of his office and I left it here.
Why did you do that?
I still hadn't cleared out the new one and I had to leave it somewhere.
So it just disappeared into thin air?
Oh, yeah. Who'd want a load of old junk like that?
Come here, Sherlock. Look at that horse manure. Who usually takes all the junk when we leave it out here?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Congratulations!
What?
I just saw Muriel and she showed me the ring.
Lizzie, it's all been a big mistake. I can explain.
Yeah, you explain to her there's already a Mrs. Opkirk. And if you haven't done it by tonight, I'm phoning Mum.
Lizzie.
And I'm sending you back to Coventry.
You tell your mum Coventry won't be far enough.
I can't believe he's been saying these things about me. How dare he?
Well, I saw you put something on your husband's food last night.
Happy? It's a food supplement. Extra vitamins and minerals. Frank's been so run down, I had to try something.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You can imagine how he looked.
No, I can't.
Can you tell Dr. Ormrod that I can't wait any longer? I'm going home.
Well, as he said...
Would you just give him that message, please?
Doctor!
Well, like I said, I really am very sorry. I shouldn't have come.
Hold on. Don't go. There's a thing or two you should know about your friend, Gordon Ormrod. Frank had an affair. Gordon knew all about it. Never said a word to me. I can never understand that. But it's obvious now. He was doing exactly the same thing. I mean, I assume he started seeing you before Caroline died. Hello? I'll come as quick as I can. I need a lift to the hospital. It's Frank.
Rag and Bone Man was halfway down Market Street. Cost me 10 bob and all.
Well, it'll be money well spent if we stop Harper from leaving. Hey, you should be chuffed with this. It's not bad in here since we got rid of cockroaches, is it? Hey. Poison seems to have done the trick.
What was that?
Nothing, Mr. Harper. Now, is there anything else we can get you to make you feel more at home?
Since you ask, I wouldn't mind a cup of tea.
Alan will sort that for you. What's you waiting for, Alan? You heard what Mr. Harper said. Thank you.
Milk, 2 sugars.
Right, well, we hope you'll be very happy in your new office. And we wish you the best of luck with your job application.
You told her yet?
All right, I'm on my way.
There's a strong chance that you may have a brain tumour. That would explain the symptoms of tiredness and lack of energy. And, of course, the fit. It would also explain why your food has tasted peculiar. A tumour can present in increased disturbance of taste and smell.
Good.
Is there anything you can do about it?
Well, I'll transfer you to Ashfordley, Frank, and then, if my diagnosis is correct, well, they'll operate.
I'm sorry.
Let's not talk about it.
I need you, Bryony.
I'm here, aren't I?
What's up, Alan?
Nothing.
Did you buy Samantha the wrong present?
No, it's not that.
What is it?
She's seen someone else.
Not Dr. Goodwin.
No, Mr. Rose.
Don't be daft.
It doesn't matter.
This is what we call an abreaction process. The drip should help you to relax and talk more easily.
Talking's not usually a problem for me.
I'm sure it isn't. Now, are you worried about anything? Anxious at all?
No. I'm sorry about what happened last night, but it was just sleepwalking.
There isn't such a thing as just sleepwalking. More often than not, there's a reason for it. You work on the seafront, is that right?
You ever want a free game of crazy golf, I'm your man.
I might take you up on that. Do you enjoy it?
It's okay. Except when the balls get stuck in the little windmill.
I looked at your notes. You seem to have moved around quite a lot. Winchester, that was school, was it? And then Cambridge.
Yeah.
But you left after a year.
But it didn't really work out. There were other things I wanted to do.
How did your parents feel about that?
What do you think?
I'd guess they weren't happy.
No.
Do they know where you are?
Maybe, I don't know. Okay, I'm a bit old to be running away from home, but you should see my home.
Have you got a moment? I know it isn't any of my business, but Alan's got this daft idea in his head that you're seeing Mr. Rose.
Well, he's going around telling people.
No, it came out by accident. He's going around like a wet weekend.
He's told Lizzie, too.
I thought you should set him straight about it.
It's not just him that needs setting straight. Sounds like it's the entire hospital. I suppose I'll just have to come clean.
My father's a solicitor. For the last 3 generations, the firm's been handed from father to son, and I'm not there to be handed down to.
And how do you feel about that?
Okay. I had my life all laid out before me, like a railway line heading off over the horizon, and I've come off the tracks. That suits me. But it's Dad's train set, and he isn't very happy.
Are you?
I thought I was until we started this. And now you're going to tell me I'm mad?
No. You may be depressed, but we can do something about that. But first, I think you need to phone your parents.
I can't do that.
I'd suggest that you won't get over this until you do. What is it you're really running away from, Joe?
Yeah, Mr. Harper. Milk and sugar there for you.
Thank you. Could you make sure this catches the afternoon post, please?
Muriel, it's me. I need to have a word with you. There's been a bit of a mistake.
If you're looking for Mrs. Thorne, she's been discharged.
Oh.
This is for you. She said something about arranging to see you again.
Did you tell her?
Yes. There were a few tears. Me too. Well, you know how it is. First love and all that. Any road, there's no need for your mum to know about this.
She's going to have to.
Why?
Because you're still telling a pack of lies.
Muriel's going home. I mean, if she wants to think that we're engaged, where's the harm in that? She even gave me her address, but I don't have to get in touch with her.
Yes, you do. She only just left. If you run, you'll catch her.
Lizzie!
I'm not talking to you.
There's a little truth in every lie you tell me. Muriel! A little good in all the bad you do. Instead of running away.
Muriel, please.
When I say
There's something I've got to tell you. I'm married. My wife's up at our caravan at Whitley Bay.
I guessed. My husband's working in Scunthorpe.
What?
I should have said. Had you worried though, didn't I?
Not kidding. What was all this about then?
You broke my heart when you didn't come back after the war.
Yeah, really, it was hard.
You still could have told me. When I saw you at the hospital, I thought it's time for a little bit of sweet revenge. The look on your face when you thought you'd propose to me.
I know. So am I forgiven then?
Come here. I quite enjoyed thinking myself 17 again for a couple of days.
Do you want to know something? So did I.
You have a scar to be proud of, Mr. Steeples. Another 2 days, you should be ready to go home. What on earth?
No smoking on the wards.
Samantha?
It's a nasty, dirty habit, and you should give it up. Oops.
I hope that bedpan isn't full.
Sorry.
My favourite bent briar.
Nurse Beaumont, what on earth?
Uncle's such a pussycat.
Mr. Rose is your uncle.
Why? What did you think he was? My boyfriend?
Hey, will you have a go at me for having family on payroll?
How was Bryony this morning?
Well, she seemed pretty upset when I accused her of trying to poison her husband, particularly she's actually been trying to help him. And she lost her temper. And she said out loud what everybody else is going to be thinking. She wanted to know if all of this started before Caroline died, and it did, didn't it? And I can't deny it. And nothing's going to change that.
We knew that all along.
We haven't had to face other people knowing about it. Maybe I'm just being a coward, but I really can't deal with that.
Jill, it doesn't matter what other people think. This is about us.
Gordon, if that were really true, we wouldn't be having this conversation, would we?
But we need to talk about this properly. This evening.
No, Gordon, I can't do this anymore. I'm so sorry.
Is Mr. Rose really your uncle?
Yes. Mummy was a Rose.
So why did you keep it a secret?
I didn't want everyone thinking he'd pulled strings to get me a job here.
So he's just your uncle? Brilliant. How about a film tonight?
They've got bicycle thieves this week.
Oh, that's okay. I'll get my brother's van again.
It won't bite you, you know.
I know.
You've been staring at it for the last half an hour.
Dr. Klein said I should phone my father. She thought it might help.
And you don't?
She doesn't know my father.
What's the worst he can do?
Tell me how much I've let him down, disgraced the family name, all that.
Do you know what I think? For a father to have a son like you, he can't be all that bad. He might come round to seeing things your way.
You don't know my father either.
Are you sure you do? He could just surprise you.
That's about as likely as you taking up crazy golf.
Well, you see, now, you never know.
I'll be staying for many a day. I'm in love with you now. I'm telling you now. I'll say
Sister?
what you wanna hear.
Matron.
I'll be telling you for many a year. I'm in love with you now.
And why
exactly does Mr. Harper need a new office?
Well, I had this brainwave and I thought it would be a way to show that he was appreciated here.
Oh, indeed.
Well, someone's got to do that job and better the devil you know and all that. Anyway, I'm pleased to say it worked.
Thanks to your brainwave.
All we need now is for you to persuade him to apply for his own job. I think it'll sound better coming from you.
Are you sure this thing will work?
Oh, it's a dead cert.
What on earth?
The tea.
Tea?
That's not sugar, it's cockroach poison.
Get a doctor here as fast as you can. Are you all right, old chap?
I didn't think he'd do it.
You never can tell with people, can you?
No, you can't. I suppose that's what keeps me in a job.
How was he?
Lucky he wasn't a cockroach. He'll be fine.
Well, that's great news. We don't want to lose our Mr. Harper. Is there anything you need at all?
I'm sorry, Mr. Harper's not up to having visitors. He's quite poorly. But we're going to make him better. Because we couldn't do without you, could we, Mr. Harper?
No.
By the way, my uncle, Mr. Rose, was wondering whether you'd be applying for your job. I do hope you will.
Well, maybe.
Doesn't look like anyone else is coming. Do you still want to go ahead?
I don't know. Hardly seems worth it. This isn't so much a group as a duet.
Is this the right place for the doctor's chinwag?
Yes. We were just wondering whether to carry on. Was there something you wanted to raise?
As a matter of fact, there was. I was wondering whether Dr. Goodwin recalled a patient of his, Mr. Brian Edwards, presented with severe back pains.
Yes. What about him?
You referred him to my colleague Ballantyne, arguably the finest orthopedic surgeon in the north of England, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Edwards informed Ballantyne that he no longer needed treatment because you'd sent him to a quack.
Our bone setter, Nobby Jepson. I thought he might be able to help Brian, and he did.
Nobby Jepson. A name to conjure with. You can almost see the plaque on Harley Street. By appointment to the naive and gullible.
Yes, well, you haven't met him.
Nor do I intend to. I've managed to persuade Mr. Ballantyne that since you were somewhat wet behind the ears, he shouldn't report you to the GMC on this occasion. So you owe me a debt of gratitude for that. But I warn you now, if you ever send a patient to Mr. Nobby Jepson again, I will not hesitate to report you myself. It's completely unethical. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a fissure waiting for me in Ashfordley General. It is, incidentally, an affliction that bone setters have signally failed to get to grips with. Good afternoon.
Shall we call it a day?
Probably a good idea.
How about a drink?
An even better idea.
Am I too late?
Well, only Lucy and I turned up. We thought we'd go to the pub instead. Do you want to come?
Yeah, why not?
Lizzie, about phoning your mother.
As soon as I get home.
Well, you don't have to. It's all sorted. Look. She even gave me the ring back. See, the thing is, me and Muriel got engaged during the war, and then I was sent away with the army. I was billeted with your mother's family. Well, I fell for your mum, and 6 months later, we were married. I didn't tell Muriel, and when I heard she'd moved, I thought I could get away with it.
You dumped her.
Because I loved your mum. I know I should have told her, but I did this time.
What are you going to do with the ring?
Will you do us a favour? Saying out to your mum she might be getting it for her next birthday.
Dad!
I'm joking. Fish and chips, mushy peas. Your treat.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night.
How are the children?
Well, they don't really understand, but so far so good.
And you?
Well, pretty much the same, really. This may sound odd, but I decided that I'd wanted Caroline kept alive. Just knowing that makes it slightly more bearable. Doesn't really make sense, does it?
It means you did everything you could for her.
And so did you. I never really thanked you. Thank you.
the sun. See all the things we haven't done. Or was it better than to run and spend the summer crying? Now summer cannot